Hi everyone, my name is Ainsley Moline and I am a dual concentration studio art major in new media and drawing and painting. My practice has been focused on topics of feminism in the way of feminine health and disability and how that's treated in the American healthcare system, which is kind of branched overall into focusing on different aspects of the American healthcare system. And how that affects our way of life, especially as people with disability and navigating that. Because a lot of times I feel like the way people look in on those with disabilities, especially if they're not obvious disabilities or if you're a woman, just on the street or in the healthcare system, there's a ton of discrimination, and not even discrimination, but like medical gaslighting and things to where that will make you feel not worthy as a person just for having a disorder. And a lot of the times feminine health disorders go undiagnosed for years. I was personally put on birth control at 9 years old, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with my onslaught of issues that have shown up as an adult. And I think that making art about that and raising awareness of not only like for other people and to make a change, but also just so that somebody walking and noticing and realizing, oh, that might be me. So that's part of what my practice has been focusing on. Lately, I've focused on a little bit of a different topic on mass urbanization of rural areas, especially in Texas and the South. I'm from a really rural area in Texas, and so I feel like a lot of the times people who are from suburbs or big cities in Texas might have a different outlook, and a lot of stereotyping goes on. But you can, as a person who's relatively liberal and somebody who's not full of hatred, live and enjoy living in a rural area and have a connection to a certain land or property. And I think it's really important to focus on how corporate greed and mass developments have been kind of ruining a lot of agriculture and water source issues in Texas. One I've focused on is Denton County Friends of the Family is something you can look into. There's a huge watershed area and nature preserve, I don't think it's a state park, north of Denton that a lot of developers have been trying to encroach on and ruin a lot of natural resources. So I've been making a lot of art in awareness of that lately. But professionally, aside from my fine art practice, this next year I am applying for a graduate program in medical illustration and scientific illustration. I currently have an internship with UNT for medical illustration with the UNT Physics and Research Department. It's more scientific illustration, which is, I know, a totally vastly different area from my fine art practice, but I do like to keep them separate and have more room to play in my fine art practice, but really get into learning and helping develop research, especially medical research that can help people. So that's my long-term goal with my career. I think my biggest downfalls or struggles I'm going to have in the next year as I'm going in, I'm trying to get a lot more work done to develop my portfolio for applying to my graduate program in medical illustration. But the work they're looking for is a little strange, in the sense that I've been advised not to make medical artwork because it's going to be scrutinized very, very in depth. But I feel like I still want to make some kind of anatomical work because I don't think submitting a whole abstract, very loose portfolio to something like this would be beneficial to me. So kind of towing that line between fine art but also having it more structured than my fine art typically is going to be a bit of a struggle. My art practice used to be super hyper realistic and structured, and I got bored of it, so I haven't done it in a few years, but I might need to go back to my roots.